Hello, BookTube. Well, I'm fading fast here. I'm doing tag therapy today, going through a bunch of tags that are either new or a little bit backed up for me in order to make myself feel good mentally because I feel so bad physically. so I'm doing a bunch of tags, and I've got one here, another original tag that I was tagged in by Anthony Andrews, one of the youngest booktubers of them all. He did a BookTubers I Love tag, a fairly simple thing. It's just 5 questions. So I'm hoping that we can get through it fast enough so that I don't collapse on camera. The first one is, who is the first booktuber you subscribed to? And for me, I think it would either be Jason Purcell or Chris Rhodes. I remember watching both of those long before I knew what BookTube was and long before I thought that I could ever be part of it. And liking what I saw, liking what I heard, the thoughtful exposition about books. I thought, what is this? Did not know this existed online. I thought the closest that YouTube came to such discussions were videotaped or, taped talks given by authors at libraries and literary events and whatnot. I had no idea that ordinary people were on YouTube just talking about books. And then from there, I expanded out in my search and found a whole bunch of people, good and bad. Then question number 2, who is the most recent booktuber that you have subscribed to? And that is David Murphy, who is a new channel to me. He films videos in his bedroom with a background covered in books and a window that looks out on a depressingly wintry landscape. And it's really good. It's a classic booktube in the way that I like to think of it, where he just sits there and talks to you about books. There's no flailing around. There's no fairy lights. There's no antic soundtrack that drowns him out. There's nothing like that. The thing that I like, the kind of booktube that I like most, I mean, I'll watch all the rest of it, and if it's really well done, I will enjoy it. But the kind of booktube that I like best is where it feels like it's simply a conversation between me and the other person. And I very much get the impression that if I sat in a room with him, we would just talk books in the same way that he talks on camera. And he was my latest subscription. Although, like all my other subscriptions, he doesn't make enough videos. Then question number 3, name 3 booktubers that you love or that you want to shout out. And the first one of the 3 is also fairly new to me, and that is Alex Black. And she does actually make a fair number of videos. So, again, lively, smart, just a wonderful, interesting channel. Then the next one would be, the next one is not new to me. I'm going to give her a shout out anyway. She's one of the oldest booktube channels that I've been watching. It's Jo at Retired Book Nerd, who just, again, invites you into her home, tells you all about the stuff that she's reading. She tends to go more for themes and events, and that feels wonderful when she does it. So I will leave a link to all these people below. Needless to say, these shout-outs count as recommendations. And the last one would be a channel, I don't know if I've ever mentioned her on this channel before. Her channel is called Mrs. Average Evaluates. And her channel emphasizes kids' books. Middle grade, YA, picture books, and does it in a wonderful way. My favorite videos of hers are when kids actually join her on camera. She has such a way with children. Oh my, it's delightful. It'll make you smile just to watch. She has such a way with children. And brings out really good answers. It's tough to get a kid to talk on camera. And she has a wonderful way about that. I don't know anything about her, but I have to assume from the way she talks to kids that she has at some point in her life been a teacher, and a mighty good one too, because that kind of skill is rare. But I highly recommend her channel if you need just a video of just a solid, good personal time. That's what you want. Then question number 4. If you could meet one booktuber right now, who would it be? And here, I want to meet them all. At Steve Kahn. We were going to do Steve Kahn for 2016, then for 2017, then for 2018. Is there any chance of Steve Kahn 2019? Where you all come to Boston? I can't travel. Or I'm unwilling to travel. Because I would have to leave Frida behind. And let's face it, most of you would want to meet me, wouldn't you'd want to meet Frida. So the way to do that is to come here. Hyde Cottage is not very big, but hospitality knows no limitations. So I'll park people on the floor if I have to. Can we work on a Steve Kahn for the spring or summer of 2019? I'd be all for it. I'd be all for it. And of course, the brattle's on me. Then question number 5, who is your favorite YouTuber who is not a booktuber? I think I have given this accolade before, but I'm going to do it again, and I'll leave a link to his channel. It's a YouTuber named Bob Gimlin. who does Bigfoot videos. And there are, as you know, some of you may know, I have a sweet tooth for Bigfoot, for the idea of Sasquatch. I have a sweet tooth for the idea. I am very harsh with the community because the community is full of pontificators, but has no proof. There's nothing in the way of what you would consider unambiguous proof. And yet the claims are sometimes skyrocketing. The claims sometimes go through the roof. There are many YouTube Bigfoot channels, and one of them says that in a bedroom community in Seattle, Bigfoots come down to the edge of a big lot store parking lot and raid the dumpster every day in broad daylight. That is not true. and yet a lot of Bigfoot channels will claim that and crazier stuff all the time. Cathedral-sized fallen tree structures. And the host of the channel will say, well, this is typical. They're this big or bigger. It sometimes takes them weeks or even months to construct them. We think they're probably for religious purposes. So you're not only saying that there is a giant hominid that lives in the Pacific Northwest, you're saying they have a culture and a religion and an infrastructure, and still no one has seen one. No one's taken an actual unambiguous, clear, zoological video footage of one. Nonsense. That's just nonsense. And I admit, I watch Bigfoot channels, and I get frustrated. And Bob Gimlin, you can go to his channel and get away from all that. He's an incredibly acute watcher and listener. Just watching his channel, he will take old, like 19th century, 18th century written records of encounters of trappers or outdoorsmen with some kind of creature. Because the record for these things goes back forever. It's one of the reasons I think there is something to it. That, and also the fact that thousands of people have witnessed these things, and their accounts line up point after point after point, even though they don't know each other and they don't know the lore. That's statistically impossible. They have to be seeing something, and that something probably is not a bear. But so there are written accounts going back centuries of these things, and Bob Gimlin is even if you go to a video of his where he's not analyzing footage, and just listen to him analyze a written source, he's a booktuber at heart. He might not know it, but he's a booktuber at heart. The way he analyzes written sources is thrilling. It's thrillingly good. And also, when it comes to non-written sources, to affidavits, newspaper sources, eyewitness accounts, he sifts those too. He's a believer, in my own way, so am I, but he's tough on the sources, and that's great. I love to see that. So I highly recommend his channel if the subject interests you at all. And that is it. That is the BookTubers I Love tag. All that is left, Anthony was very specific. You're to tag 14 people. 14 BookTubers. And believe it or not, I'm going to do that. And I have them listed here. So, Alex Black, Kazan at Always Doing, Todd's Bursting Bookcase, 6 Minutes for Me, Jason's Weird Reads. I don't know if he does tags, but if he does, I hope that he will. Mara at Books Like Whoa, Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse, and Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, Steeped in Books, Shawn the Book Maniac, Britta, because I don't ever want her to catch up on her tags. Mark at Richardson Reads, of course. Roz at Journey Through Books. I've noticed more of her videos in my feed. I want more. I want 2 or 3 every day. And Sue at Sue's Book Nook. So there you go. That is the BookTubers I Love tag. And I don't know. I'm feeling much better personally, but I don't think I have much more energy for BookTube today. And I should, because sometime this week, this channel is bound to hit 2,000 videos. A 2,000 video mark is bound to happen this week. And that's a big thing. That is unprecedented on BookTube. I'd like to talk about it or make a video about it or something like that, but not when I'm feeling like death warmed over. We shall see. We shall see. I obviously have to take the little biscuit on a walk, so maybe that'll perk me up. I don't think so, but maybe it will. But either way, I'll be back soon. Thank you, BookTube.